Alright, let's have a look at some basic tools and layout on the opening Vectorworks screen. First of all, up along the top here, we have a bunch of menus, and they seem to work fairly well in a bit of a logical or sequential order. We start over this side with our sketch tools. These are our 2D drawing tools primarily. Then from there, as the icon suggests, we create. We can extrude those shapes up into 3D models, and we can do all sorts of things with those. Then once we've got those 3D models or 3D shapes, we can modify them by doing things like putting rounded edges on them, 45-degree edges, putting holes through them or shelling them. We can change the physical material and appearance of it to make it look more realistic. Over here we can assemble them, so join them together, and lots of other tools and menus that sort of work along that line there. To begin with, let's start with our sketch tools. Now what happens is, you can notice that this is my page that I'm working on, and at the moment that's on a bit of an angle there. It gives me a bit of a perspective drawing, a perspective view of it. Up here we can change the view we're looking at. So if we click on front view, that's my page there. We can see the front view of it. I can rotate that around, have a look at the right view. If I click on that, it goes directly to it. Top view, and then back home again there on the angle. Doesn't make a lot of sense until you've got a drawing on there. So let's have a look. When we create a drawing, so for example a rectangle, it brings up these three planes. This one here's the right hand side, this one's the front, so it's asking me, do I want to draw it from a right hand side view, from the front, or on a top view? And I think for this one to begin with, I'm going to choose the top view. You can notice that toggles around to top view there, and I can draw my sketch. Okay, it's simple as that. I can draw a few shapes. As I click once, drag that rectangle out, and you'll notice there's a box on the left hand side of that, or in this case on the left hand side of that now, which is highlighted. Now I can put my dimensions in there, so for example 10, and then I press tab and that moves to the dimension box above it, and I can put in another dimension and click enter. So I can be pretty specific and accurate with the sizes that I want to achieve. When I finish each series of sketches, I press stop sketch, and we go to our home page, our home button there, and we can come through now and create. So we're going to click on extrude, and it says which profile do I want to extrude. So we'll select them. We can select multiple, or we can just go one, and we can either drag that up there like that, or if I want to be a little bit more specific, I can type the distance in the dialog box here, or over here there's three different options, and we can play around with those. We can do really big ones, we can do really small ones, and you can do those to decimal points and things like that as well. So it's very accurate according to what you put in there. Click enter when you're finished, and there's my extruded profile. Now those other ones have disappeared. If I click on the sketches there, I can see they become visible again, and I've just got to turn that visibility light on to see them again if I wanted to extrude any other ones. So again, you can either go to create and extrude, or you notice the little E next to it. Some of the popular tools have a letter next to it, which means I can press E, and that gives me the extrude function. Click on both of those, drag them both up because they're both selected. It will extrude those the same distance. Click enter when you're done, and I'm going to turn those sketches off again like it had. The thing that is visible to us is bodies, and I've got body 1, body 2, and body 3. So each sketch you develop appears down here, and as you extrude it, it converts them into what's called bodies. Click on those and you can change those. So this is was a rectangle, so we'll go rectangle 1. They're all rectangles. This one here we'll call rectangle 2. Hit enter. Click once on it, then click again, and we can give that a meaningful name. If you click on that light globe, it takes the visibility off. So if you wanted to uncrowd your page, you could remove some of those there. They still exist, but we need to turn the visibility on. To turn all the bodies off, switch those off. Sketches on, you can see where those bodies came from. It's best to have the bodies on and the sketches off, so we'll leave it like that. Origins are off. If I turn those on, you'll notice that it'll bring up these working planes, which help me to either toggle between views, or when I select a sketch, new sketch, it will enable me to pick which plane I want to work on. Now those will automatically come on. If I turn those off, they'll automatically come on if I was to draw a new sketch, and I'll be asked to distinguish which plane I want to work on. So let's go to the front view with this one. We'll do a couple more shapes. There's a circle, there's another little circle, and we'll hit stop sketch. Let's create a ellipse on the right hand side view. Click, click, and click. There's an ellipse. Stop sketch. Let's create a polygon on the right view. There's one, there's another one, and stop sketch. I can come through, hit E, choose the profiles that I'd like to extrude and draw those out. There's a hexagon, E for extrude, put the distance in there, enter, E for extrude, select the profile and draw those out. Fairly easy to create shapes. These are our different visibility options, and you can go and have a play with some of those shapes.